The opening of the legal new year introduces the judicial calendar, with the governor, chief minister and other dignitaries talking to the judges and other members of the profession as they arrived. The historic ceremony saw 3 key speeches, which all first paid tribute to the late Queen. Attorney General Michael Llamas confirmed that the 9th round of treaty talks had taken place this week, and that despite the massive complexities of the discussions, he said tremendous progress had been made. Despite this, however, a limited number of legal issues still remained.
The 9th round took place in London yesterday and the day before yesterday. They were very good. Very good. We touched on a number of very important issues, and especially on border fluidity and Gibraltar's future relationship with the Schengen area, which, as you know, is the key part of the treaty for us. So we had extensive discussions with the European Commission team on that, and they went very well. And we touched on other subjects. There's good progress which is being made. We're advancing on a lot of issues. There's a good atmosphere in the negotiating rooms. So there's a lot of progress, and we still haven't settled many of these things, but we're moving in the right direction. And we are hopeful that all of this can be done. There are still, I would say, a handful of difficult issues, which are both legal and political, and it's a complex negotiation. You've got to bear in mind there are 3 governments negotiating, plus the European Union. Each have their own issues and their own red lines, and I mean sometimes it's difficult enough when 2 parties are negotiation, let alone when there are 4, and you need to touch on issues which are highly sensitive for all the parties concerned. I think there are solutions. We've offered solutions to each one of the remaining issues, and we think there are good solutions for everyone. So I think they are highly solvable. When is a big question. We want to get this settled by the end of this year. That is the aim. It is possible. It's tight, but it's possible. Drafting, I mean, the actual treaty is one thing, agreeing the principles, then you need to sit down and you need to draft. But I think all of that can be done if we make good progress this month of October.
On Gibraltar's grey listing for increased monitoring by the Financial Action Task Force, Mr Llamas said the government would be submitting a progress report to the FATF by the end of the year, which should lead to Gibraltar's removal from the list next June. He also highlighted the work done over the past year, including the implementation of sanctions against Russia, 18 new bills and 268 legal notices, much of which was COVID-related legislation. The chairman of the Law Council spoke next with a review of the work done by the Legal Services Regulatory Authority.
The LSRA has principally, or certainly the work of the Bar Council, which I represent, in relation to the LSRA has been in relation to the development of the Code of Practice in readiness for its publication, which is imminent. There's now a Code of Practice that has been approved by the LSRA and the Law Council, and is with the Chief Justice for publication.
Ken Navas also revealed that the backlog of cases at the Employment Tribunal continues as it awaits the appointment of a chairperson. Meanwhile, he said the Mental Health Review Tribunal had concluded its audit of long-term patients over the past 2 years. The result of this is that many of those patients have now been moved into elderly residential care placements, and others are now living in the community under community treatment orders and independently. In his speech, the Chief Justice revealed that crime only accounted for 20% of the court's work, with complex family court cases and high-value commercial litigation also taking up much of their time. At the Court of Appeal, he said the discussions about the possibility of longer or additional or even remote sittings were taking place. Finally, he thanked the dedicated team at the GCS, in particular Chief Executive Hazel Kumbo, who was made an MBE in the Queen's Honours List last year. Chief Justice Anthony Dudley then declared the new legal year open.
I think the legal profession is absolutely central for Gibraltar, as it is for the United Kingdom. And why is that? It's because people trade in jurisdictions where they have honest, reliable and top quality legal systems. We've got that in Gibraltar as we have in the UK.
The opening of the legal new year is always an opportunity to take stock of the work being done in the past 12 months and the challenges that still lie ahead, such as treaty talks. However, it's also an opportunity to look at the work that's been done by the court service in ensuring that it remains a top legal jurisdiction, and one, in fact, that has its own key vital role to play in Gibraltar's future growth and prosperity.